I feel like these days no one likes doing things alone. If someone's sitting in a restaurant by themselves, people automatically think, oh my god, that person must have no friends or they're a loser, and that just isn't the case. We've built this idea in society that doing things on your own or by yourself must mean that you're lonely or have no friends, and that isn't true and couldn't be further from the truth. I think there's value and power in doing stuff by yourself and being confident and comfortable enough to do so. If you're doing something by yourself, it doesn't mean you're missing someone, it just means you are able to and want to do that thing by yourself. And sometimes there are things that are better, in my opinion, to do by yourself, and there's no shame in wanting to do that and actually doing that, and you shouldn't let perception or fear of perception affect you from doing those things or stop you from doing those things. I think it's completely okay to be on your own and to do things by yourself. I think if there's a art exhibition you want to see or a gallery you want to go to, or there's a restaurant you want to try, or a event you want to go to that your favorite artist is playing and no one's free, go to that thing by yourself. There's power in being a solo person and not being held back by other people, because sometimes schedules just don't align, and just because no one is available or wants to do the thing that you want to do doesn't mean that it's not worth doing. And if you have to do it on your own, that's completely fine. I remember as a kid I was always fine doing things on my own. So I remember once I wanted to see Harry Potter. I think it was the final movie, and none of my friends were free or wanted to see it, or they'd already seen it. So on Saturday at 10 a.m. I got the bus to Romford and I went to the cinema and I watched the movie on my own, and I had an amazing time. And sometimes I think doing things by yourself can be nice because there's not this fear of being perceived. You are just on your own, no one there knows you, you're not concerned about talking or being in a good mood or putting forward your best self. You can get the snacks you want, you can chill how you like, you don't have to have a conversation after the film or during the film, and you can fully engage in that thing you're doing. If it's the film like I was watching, or the meal you're having, or the experience you're going to at the gallery, you can take those things in and not be rushed or pressured by other people's moods or desires, and that is also really nice. And of course, it's also lovely and great to do things with your friends, and often most of the time I do things with my friends, but I've decided and realised that now sometimes there are things that I want to do, and I just think, actually, I want to see this movie, I'm free this evening, I've got no plans. Before I figure out who I could text, and if they're free and they want to come this way, we have to meet in the middle, I'm just going to go down the road and see the movie by myself. And it's nice to have that kind of self-care where you're taking yourself out of the house, out of your usual routine, and doing something different and make an experience and a memory for yourself. And I find those times are quite good because I also have time to reflect and think about how I'm feeling about myself, how I'm feeling about the world, how I'm feeling about the way things are going for me more generally. And that time alone doing something active is a nice time to think and reflect and connect with myself. And of course, it can be lonely sometimes. You might go and do something and think, oh, actually I feel a bit awkward, or I wish someone was here with me. But the more you do things by yourself, I think the more comfortable you get, and the less worried you are about people seeing you by yourself, and the less you care about being perceived as being on your own, because being on your own doesn't matter, it's not a big deal. And I do think there's a lot of growth from doing stuff by yourself. That's when you learn and you make progress and you reflect and you connect with yourself, and you can move at your own pace. And that is also important, being able in life to do things at your own pace and not being held back by other people's views or opinions. It's a bigger lesson than just the physical thing of doing it by yourself. It's what it signals and signifies to you as a person. And the truth is, people don't really care. When you're by yourself, you know, in the park on a park bench reading, or in the cinema by yourself, or having a meal on your own, people notice you, probably think, oh, that's cool, that guy's by himself, or don't even notice you. And if they do notice you, they might think something, say it is negative. They think about you for 5-10 seconds, then they move on with their life and they completely forget. And that's the thing, is that people don't spend more than 5 to 10 seconds thinking about you when they see you. But we can often worry about that one interaction, that one bit perception, and let it stop us from doing the thing. Realistically, people are absorbed in their own lives and busy thinking of their own situation. So whenever I see someone by themselves, I do like to people watch, and I think, oh, I wonder if he's just come here by himself to have a coffee and read. That's really nice. Or as a guy walking by himself in the park, taking himself out for the day, maybe taking a phone call. I never think negatively of people doing stuff by themselves. So I don't think other people do either. And even if they do, you don't know these people. Who cares? Why let someone else's judgment, or particularly a stranger's judgment, affect you from doing something you want to do? It doesn't matter at all in the grand scheme of things. Doing stuff on your own that's active and an activity, so again, like I said, a meal or the cinema or going for a walk or reading in the park, is a good decision that you can make to pull yourself out of the option of just brain rotting and sitting on your phone and scrolling all day and just watching Netflix. It's nice to actually go and experience the whole world, because I live in London and there are loads of things to be doing all the time. There are events on, there are concerts and gigs and group events and solo events, and there are parties and there are dinners and there are food things to try, and there are just so many things. There are shops to go to, there are new trending things to go and see. So I think there's so many things that you can do, and so choosing to do those things, and yes, they might cost money as well, but choosing to do those things rather than just sit in your house by yourself, be bored and feel lonely and isolated and trapped. It's sometimes just getting outside the house, getting some fresh air and moving can change your mood completely and make you feel way better. So yeah, it's completely fine to do things on your own. It's not weird, it's not sad, it's not lame, you're not a loser. And so if you want to do that thing on your own, go ahead and do it. Don't let the fear of judgment or perception stop you from doing something you actually want to do. And trust me, the more you start doing it, the more you love doing it, and the less you worry about doing it next time, and the more comfortable you feel. And from that can only come good and greater things. And I guess you'll be surprised how much peace you can find in your own company. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and watch one of my next videos coming up somewhere on the screen. See you in the next video.